What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So during last week's game that Colorado played UCLA, there's an observation that I made that I didn't talk about in a video. And that observation is that there is a big disconnect, an extremely huge disconnect it appears to be between Shedeur Sanders and his offensive line. When Shedeur is getting sacked and he's under so much duress and under so much pressure, his offensive linemen, they not even trying to pick him up off the ground. They walking right past him like they don't even know him, which is extremely odd in the game of football. Football, your offensive linemen are supposed to want to fall on the sword for you. That's just how this game goes. When they're not picking you up off the ground, they walking right past you, acting like they don't even see you. That speaks to a bigger problem. And to me, I'm not there on the team, so I don't know. But I feel that there has been an element or an environment of favoritism created by Coach Prime around his sons and around like Travis Hunter probably, that the other players, especially the offensive linemen, they feel that. And they have a disdain for that. So they're not they're not willing to fall on the sword for Shedeur like other offensive linemen are. You know what I mean? Cause I promise y'all, like, they not that good. They're not good, right? They're not. And I've been saying that this offensive line, they don't have what it takes to withstand like strong, like edge rushers. They can't. But in that game and other games before, some of that is just effort. Sometimes I don't really see effort from them. They seem disinterested. And I'm like, yo, I think it might be an element of favoritism that has been created around Shedeur and Shiloh and Travis Hunter, where the other players feel resentment for that, right? Case in point, after the game against UCLA, Coach Prime get on Instagram and he shouts out only his two children, Shiloh and Shedeur, for being dogs and playing well. And for some people, they might look at that like, huh? You single out your two boys as just the only ones balling out and playing well? Like, you know what I mean? And granted, Shedeur, he's an excellent quarterback. I really think if he got time to throw, he can be excellent. But, you know, and Shiloh had a big hit and got ejected or whatever. But, like, I don't know, man. It just seems very, like, I can see how people can look at that like, yo, are you just really here for your boys? Or are you here for the team? It can come off like that. Because like I told y'all, Shiloh might have played a little well that game, but Shiloh got a lot of holes in his game, for real. He gives up. I've seen him give up big plays, and he's not a strong tackler at all. I've seen him miss tackles, and he can't tackle in space, right? So for Prime to shout out his sons, it looked like, is this just I don't know, is this just a team just centered around where your focus is centered around your boys? Because that can create distrust in a locker room. You just shouting out on your boys and stuff like that. And yeah, it can seem real type funny style, especially after Prime calls out his offensive line. And you can call out your players, but to basically make it seem like you finna replace them, you gonna get new offensive linemen when they got 4 more games to play? What is it, 4 or 5 more games left to play? They got a brutal schedule left to play. How you expect them to and people be like, well, if they want to get picked up by another team, they want to go to the NFL. Listen, y'all know that's not an NFL offensive line. Y'all know it's not a pro offensive line. Everybody knows that. So they ain't going to no goddamn NFL. So cut that out. But in general, right, if I'm trying to, them boys got to lay on the line for your son, right? They have to be the ones to protect him. They've had problems, but when you trash them, again, it gives them, they could very well be like, fuck it then. Since we gone, since you want us out of here, since we gone next year, since we good as gone, hell, you come out here and protect your son. Or go get the second string to come in here and do that. And they probably gonna do worse than the first string, which is why they're the second string in the first goddamn place. Okay? So, yeah, man, I think it can create an element of distrust when you're doing certain things like that. Because you can criticize your players, but to make it seem like you're going to replace them, like, that's not good. That's not good coaching to me. And people can swear up and down, I don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all can swear up and down, I'm just reaching. Y'all can swear up and down, Prime know what he doing. And, Prime got this under control. Y'all can swear up and down that, oh, I just don't know football. I just seen Shady McCoy, the biggest Prime support. I'm talking about he be wearing his pom-poms for Prime. Like, Shady be doing a whole damn 8 count in the stands for Deion Sanders. He came out and said, I don't like that. Because for one, this defense as a whole is atrocious. Like, they are at the very bottom of FBS defenses. They are at the very bottom, y'all. They giving up so many yards per game. It's ridiculous how much yardage they're giving up. Shiloh Sanders is a part of that defense, giving up a ton of yards. So, you know what I mean? Like, what? Then what? What? Like, come on. It ain't just the offensive lineman. Your defense is atrocious. Like, offensive play calling been terrible at times. Horrible. That's why, what is his name? Sean Lewis, offensive coordinator. Somebody else then got bumped up to the play calling. And Sean Lewis finna take a back seat. So to single out the offensive line, act like they the only thing that's bad. They the only thing going on that's trash. And I get it. Your son is the quarterback. So you're going to have a certain amount of you're going to have a certain amount of a vested interest in your quarterback when he's your son. But in general, the quarterback is the straw that stirs the drink, especially in these days of college football in general. The quarterbacks throw the ball a ton more than they used to. Okay, the running game is not as profound as it once was and is nearly non-existent in Colorado. Some people feel like the running game is non-existent because they feel like he wants Shedeur's stats to be boasted up. Honestly, though, they can't run the football because at times the offensive line is not that strong. But some people feel like he could be running. He can do more run plays. But they feel like he's just trying to bolster up Shedeur's, like his throwing, his completions and his yardage. I don't know if that's the case, but I do know that when you're shouting out only your kids after the game, it could create resentment and animosity. What the hell? Huh? Like every time they make a mistake, Deion Sanders Jr. and them is quick to come out and lay coverage for Shedeur when he make a mistake or Shiloh make a mistake. Bucky, they got to come out and just make every type of like coverage. Oh, you still did this and you still listen, man. Hey, if something happened and he didn't do something well, let him know. Okay, because y'all would criticize everybody else. And then, like I said, I'm tired of. See, this is the things when I told y'all at the beginning of the season. Every time they have a bad game, now the go-to is just, well, they did better than last season. It's a great job. No, it's not a great job this season. It's not. It's really not. He gonna get better recruits next year. But when you start off with that type of momentum, when you have that type of fanfare attached to the team, and you have the media drawn in, and you lose against Stanford, who are terrible before y'all. Like, Stanford was horrible. Stanford puts up 46 points on y'all. They come back from down 29-0 at half. They come back and win the game in overtimes and in the second half. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That's a bad coaching job. And again, I'm not saying Prime is a bad coach. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just don't think he is in the upper echelon yet. I think because I haven't seen him make certain adjustments. He didn't even call a timeout in the second half when they was getting railroaded. Not railroaded, when it was clear that Stanford was making an effort to come back, when they were clearly cutting down the lead, chipping away, and it was looking a little like, oh, wait a minute. Prime didn't even call a timeout and try to stop the bleeding and stop the momentum. You know what I mean? So, but I think there's a disconnect, man. There's something wrong when your linemen walking right past you. They're not helping you up. They don't care. And I don't know if it's something that Shedeur is doing on his own time with them. I don't know I don't know, man. But yeah. But again, Prime calling them out and basically saying they're gonna get replaced. To me, that's not gonna help. Some people gonna say either you become dogs because of it, or you become soft. Some shit ain't just about being soft and hard. Some shit is just like, all right, dog. Like, come on. It's just a certain way to do things. There's a certain way to call people out to get them to come to practice and want to give you their all every single day. It's a certain way you can call them out. That is not the way to do that. To get them to want to come to practice and give it their all and give blood, sweat, and tears for you when you telling them they gone next year. That ain't a way to galvanize them. And everybody know that. then you only shouting out your two kids. I feel like an element of favoritism has been created around this team where the players may feel like the only important pieces on this team is Shedeur, Shiloh, and Travis. And they may be scratching their head if they're like, hold on, coach. You know what I mean? I may not be playing exemplary. I may be done things wrong, but damn, I'm to announce to the world that we gone next year, we out of there. We get new line, you get new linemen, we gone. That's harsh. You feel me? And this is my problem because people are gonna say they grown men, they grown. They should be able to handle hard news. This is the real world. See, my problem is them boys that outside. See, my problem is this: when Shedeur and Shiloh and them do shit that's way uncouth, when they do the wrong shit, when they like, you know, they being obnoxious in certain ways, y'all always lay coverage for Shedeur and Shiloh and them and Travis and them and say, they just kids. They just kids, y'all. They just kids. They're just kids. But when the offensive linemen and stuff, when Prime is basically throwing them under the bus, y'all want to call them, well, they grown men. They grown. They should be able to handle it. Hold on. Are they grown or they kids? Because one thing I noticed when Shedeur and Shiloh do some bullshit, especially when Shiloh was telling the team he'll beat the fuck out of all y'all N-words and y'all coach, y'all excuse was Shiloh just a kid. Shiloh grown than a motherfucker. He's a grown-ass motherfucker on the team. He grown, like my mama say, you grown when you smelling yourself grown. You grown as a motherfucker, okay? And so some of the other boys on the team, but let y'all tell it, Shiloh and them just kids. They kids, y'all. Don't say nothing to Shiloh and Shedeur. They just kids. But when Coach Prime called out the other team, the offensive linemen, publicly throw them under the bus, anybody else that make mistakes, they grown. They grown. No, motherfucker, no, we not doing that. Because if Shiloh and Shedeur and them kids, damn well Shiloh a kid for sure, then the other boys on the team kids too. You know what I mean? So, and that's my problem with Coach Prime is like you throwing them under the bus, talking about you going to replace them. These young college kids, bro, this ain't no professional, or it's not the professional ranks. And you can very well say you preparing them for it, but yeah, but that ain't the right way to do it. You throwing them under, like, you basically telling the world they gone. How they supposed to get up and want to come block for your son every week? They very well might say, fuck it. And some of y'all gonna say they not blocking anyway. But I think, yeah, it ain't the biggest effort. I think because it's clear that an environment of favoritism has been created. An aura of favoritism has been created around this team, around Shiloh, Shedeur, and Travis. And if you ain't them, people can feel it. You feel like, oh shit, we the afterthoughts on this team. We get thrown under the bus and blamed. You know, and that ain't cool. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.